Months had passed, yet the weight of their separation clung to every moment of June's life, subtle and relentless, like the quiet hum of an unplayed melody. His photographs, though celebrated by critics and admired by the public, carried a hidden sorrow that no praise could illuminate. Each frame seemed to pulse with the memory of Soo-yeon, her smile caught in the soft glow of morning light, her laughter dancing like shadows among the streets they once walked together. Even amidst the applause, he felt the hollowness of empty rooms and silent studios, the echo of her absence pressing upon him with every shutter click. At night, when the city hushed and the faint rustle of cherry blossoms fell against the pavements, he would wander to quiet corners, hoping for a glimpse of her spirit in reflections, in fleeting shadows, in the spaces between streetlights and passing cars. No photograph could capture the warmth of her hand or the way her eyes held his soul, and yet he continued to try, each image a desperate testament to a love that had slipped away but refused to be forgotten. Soo-yeon, meanwhile, moved through a world painted with expectations, each day a careful arrangement of duties and obligations that left no room for the heart she could not ignore. She smiled at gatherings, nodded at polite conversations, and honored the choices her family had made for her. Yet inside, the hollow echo of June's presence followed her like a shadow that refused to fade. In the quiet of her room, she would sit with the framed photograph he had once pressed into her hands, tracing its edges as if she could feel the pulse of the moments they had shared. Her chest tightened with unspoken words, and sometimes, late at night, the tears would fall silently, a private confession to the love she had been forced to set aside. Every scent, every faint sound of the city carried traces of him, footsteps on familiar pavements, the rustle of fabric that reminded her of his coat, the distant laughter of someone crossing the cherry blossom hill. Each memory was both a balm and a wound, comforting her heart while reminding her of its impossibility. And yet, even in their separation, threads of connection lingered invisibly, delicate but unbroken. On quiet evenings, both found themselves in places they had once shared. A gallery where June's latest exhibition hung, a park bench under softly falling petals, the glow of street lights over empty sidewalks, each a subtle reminder of the other's existence. They did not meet, they did not speak, but the air between them vibrated with a silent longing, a gentle ache that neither could fully name. June's photographs captured beauty, but also absence. Soo-yeon's carefully composed days hid longing in smiles that did not reach her eyes. And in these private, shared silences, love persisted, fragile, persistent, and quietly radiant, like an unfinished photograph whose edges were blurred, whose light was dimmed, but whose essence endured. Even as the seasons passed and the world moved on, their hearts remained tethered across distance, a tender testament to a devotion that had refused to die, a love forever imprinted on memory, unseen yet eternal, haunting yet beautiful, like the last petals drifting from a tree that had witnessed everything. The days stretched onward, each one heavy with the absence neither could escape. June wandered through familiar streets, camera in hand, but every photograph felt incomplete, as though some essential light had slipped from the frame. His critics still praised him. His exhibitions still drew crowds. Yet behind every shutter click was the echo of a name he dared not speak aloud. At night, he often lingered by the cherry blossom hill, his eyes tracing the delicate fall of petals, as if each drifting bloom carried a fragment of Soo-yeon's laughter back to him. Soo-yeon, too, moved through her days with practiced grace, the smile upon her lips hiding the ache in her chest. She played her role as daughter, friend, and dutiful figure in her family's carefully constructed world, but behind closed doors, she unraveled. Sometimes, she would hold the photograph June had given her, pressing her forehead against it, whispering words no one would hear. The city seemed filled with ghosts, footsteps that echoed like his, scents that carried his memory, the faintest sound of a shutter reminding her of the life she had once dreamed. Their separation was not merely distance, it was a silence that grew louder with every passing season, reminding them of the love they had buried yet could never let die. It was on a quiet evening, beneath the dim glow of street lights that fate finally broke its silence. June had stopped at a small cafe, his hands curled around a cup of untouched coffee, when he felt the weight of a presence he knew before he even looked up. Soo-yeon stood at the doorway, her figure framed in the warm light, fragile yet radiant, as though time itself had bent to bring her there. For a heartbeat, the world stilled. June rose slowly, his lips parting but no words escaping, while Soo-yeon's eyes glistened with the ache of years unspoken. She stepped closer, her breath trembling as though every movement cost her strength. "You're still the same," she whispered, her voice breaking softly. "And you?" June's voice faltered, but his gaze held hers. "You never left." The silence overflowed with all they had hidden, and in that fragile moment, their hearts found each other again, after years of shadow.